Hey there, I'm so glad that you're with me today. I'm here today with one of my favorite artists, Christina Yielding. But as you all know, art is not just painting, it's also writing, and it's also sculpting and making ceramics and all kinds of other things. And it's also, of course, music. And I was really intrigued to hear that she is not just a painter, but she does this really extraordinary thing with music that's actually kind of hard for me to describe. I'm going to have her just kind of tell the people how you even came to doing what you do.
Okay, so it's a very intense story, and I'll try to make it summed up into a nutshell. But let me just start by saying my dad was a preacher, so I was raised religious. And it wasn't until my later years, early 20s, that I started going more on a spiritual path and a spiritual journey. I've always loved music. I play the drums by ear. I picked up a guitar and just started playing it. Of course, I played it the opposite way first because I'm left-handed. So someone told me it was upside down, so then I flipped it over to the right way. But I've always had an ear for sounds and vibrations. And I just have always known that music is a vibration and it's a frequency. And that's what I tune into when I paint. And I just had an experience with an angel, and it's really intense and probably too long of a story to actually tell right now because it's meaningful, and it's personal. How about that?
Sure,
it's personal.
Sure.
But it was strong enough to impact me to have the desire to get the message out there to people that it doesn't matter what you believe in or where your faith is, that it's all the same thing. As long as you're true to your faith and what you believe, then you're on the right path. And so I took Dr. Wayne Dyer, who's a spiritual leader who you love, Joyce Meyer, who's a female preacher, and Dr. Phil, philosophical, and I took all of their points of views and I chopped and blocked their words and I put them to music, into a vibration that is in sync with what they're saying. And you have to hear it because it's very unique. It's very hypnotic, kind of. It's good to drive to. And it takes about 6 hours of their sermons or their teachings and their preachings, and it puts it into a 3-minute song to where you get the message. And you really get the message because it vibrates with the same delivery that they're trying to give you. So you feel it and you hear it, and it repeats in some places, so you're saying it to yourself. So you use more of your senses taking it in, and you know it. It's actually just a reminder of what we already know.
Yeah, what you said about you know it. You have found a way of taking hours of preachings that a lot of people might zone out on and getting to just the nut, and the way that you pair it with the music is memorable and powerful. You feel it. I know I told you this, but the first time I listened to it, I cried, and it felt like it was because it's just like truth personified, like undeniable truth, regardless of what your upbringing is, what your religious beliefs are, what your spirituality is. It's just truth, and it's listenable truth. Like I told you earlier, people should be listening to this kind of stuff in the car, and there would be no war in the world.
You're right. I made this up myself, and this, you can say, is said by Christina Yielding, and I will patent this. But music has a language of its own. You just have to tune into it. And I tuned into that language with the words and the music, and I put it together to where you don't have a choice but to tune into it because it resonates with your soul.
It does. That's a beautiful way of saying that. It resonates with your soul. And it's currently not available.
And it hasn't been for 10 years.
She's been doing this for 10 years, but it's going to be. Just stay tuned to artbycdy.com. You can also find her on Facebook under the same name, and that information will be forthcoming. When you see it available, buy it because you need to compensate your artists, and it will change your life. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being here.